Good evening, Olivia.
Hey.
Hi.
Nobody is there. We'll wait for a few minutes.
Hello everyone.
Hello, good evening.
Hey, good evening, Ulas Raj.
Good evening, all. How are you?
Hey. I think we should start, right?
Yes, we can.
Deepa, I think you're muted.
I
President Alifia, Ashwin will be here, no?
Ashwin is actually not coming, so I'm just trying to play his recording, actually. He is busy at work.
Okay.
His download is okay, got it.
Yeah, mine now PowerPoint is not working properly. I don't know what happened to my PowerPoint also. So I don't know. Shall I play it in the background? No problem now. Without any sophistication.
If you want, send it to me. I'll share it.
Okay, it's I mean I didn't background music also I didn't do.
Okay.
So,
If you want, send it to us. We will play it for you.
yeah. Okay.
If
Okay.
not, no problem. We can even.
Background I can play because my PowerPoint no, I'll just share it.
Okay.
My PowerPoint is not working. I don't know what happened to it.
That will happen here. That's called Delphi rule.
Good evening, everyone. I am Toastmaster Ashwin, your sergeant.
Sorry. Okay, here we are. Just finish. You can see my screen, right?
Good evening, everyone. I am Toastmaster Ashwin, your sergeant at arms for this meeting. Welcome to this edition of the Podcasters Club meeting. The mission of this Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience for members that are empowered to develop their communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Toastmasters International has 4 values: respect, integrity, service, and excellence. Before we proceed with this meeting, kindly note that to respect the sentiments of this region, we refrain from talking about the taboo topics, which are politics, sex, and religion. I would also like to request that all of you mute yourselves throughout this meeting unless you are making a speech. And if your camera is on, please refrain from unnecessary movements that might be distracting to the speaker as well as the others in the room. You may choose to switch off your camera as well. If you are driving, we recommend that you refrain from connecting to this meeting. Your safety is our concern. This meeting is recorded and will be available on social media. If you do not wish audio or video of yourself to be shown, kindly send us an email. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this meeting from the comfort of your own home. Now let us welcome our president to formally open this meeting, Toastmaster Alifia.
So welcome to the Podcasters Club. We meet on the first and the third Mondays at 7 o'clock, and we really look forward to the inspirational learning that we do with the next level of communication at the Podcasters Club. So Toastmasters, like Ashwin already explained, let me share a quick screen for a few guests that we have in our room today. Was found by a very old gentleman called Ralph Smedley. This was many, many years ago, and it's actually a non-profit organization started back in the US, started in the Colorado, and it's all over the world in many, many continents. It was established in 1924, and it's now in 143 countries. It's even more than KFC branches, I think, all over the world. It has over 16,800 clubs and 350,000 members. In Toastmasters, we normally get out of our comfort zone and learn how to speak. And especially in podcasters, what we try to do is we learn how to speak and improve our communication skills with the next level of communication digitally. It has a lot of leadership development programs, and there's a path that we follow. According to your aptitude and according to sort of a survey that you do, you are encouraged to select a path which goes in certain structures. So there's a lot of different paths that, according to what your career path is or whatever you're trying to learn, that you can select. And there are some recommendations that are given to you according to a quiz that you select. And then you start preparing content and you start preparing speeches. The most unique part about Toastmasters is mentorship. You normally get mentors who help you and guide you through every speech levels that you're trying to do, and you pretty much pass through 5 levels. It's a very elaborate curriculum if you do it well. And within 6 months to 1 year, you're encouraged to complete an entire part. And that's how the journey goes on. So this is about Toastmasters. And let me stop sharing. But today is a very important meeting where we are looking at something called as the moments of truth. This is a meeting when we want to get honest with ourselves and really see what are we trying to achieve in our lives, and are we really getting there. So let me tell you a little story. This story is about an elderly carpenter, a carpenter who was almost closing to his retirement age, and he was working for a contracting company. At this phase of his life, he actually went and told his boss, you know what, I'm now going to stop working and I'm going to take a break. And when he decided to do that, the boss was really sad. You know, he's like, you've worked with me for so many years and you've done such great this thing, and you've become like an extended family. So why are you deciding to stop working with us today? And he's like, yeah, look, I'm going to definitely miss the paycheck. But at this stage where I am in my life, I think I'm ready to hang the hammer and take a break. So what did his boss say? His boss actually said, you know what? I understand where you're heading, but if you don't mind, do me one last favor before you go. And he's like, all right, sir, we'll do it for you. And the boss gave him the material and he said, let's make one more house before you go. The carpenter did agree, but honestly, his heart already in the past few years, you could tell, was not in her work really. He was using inferior materials. He didn't take the pain to get the best furniture. He did not even choose to have a swimming pool in this house. And the material was not really the best, but He completed the house and he goes back to his boss and he says, I finished the job and you can come see the house and look at it. And it's done. And at this moment, the boss gave him the key to the house and he said, this is your house and this is your gift on behalf of us for giving us your entire 15, 20 years of commendment services that you gave us. And this was his house that was given to him. What do we reflect from the story? What was the carpenter thinking? He was basically like, if I knew this was my own house, I would have made it differently. And he was like, if only I knew, and what a shame. And that's what his entire guilt was. For the last house that he ever built in his entire career, this was the result that he's going to live in it forever. Now, why am I telling you this story? This story we are saying because today is our day. Today is our day where we can select what we want as a result of whatever actions we have taken. It's our day for moment of truth. And we invite all of you members and guests as to give us feedback, to be honest, and let's see where we can take our club. What is the sort of life we want? What is the sort of learning we want from our podcasters club that you're part of, members of today? So let me invite you all to do a little bit of truth session where we would appreciate your feedback and let's really give in our heart for this is what we're going to get out of the next year with the new XCOM that we're bringing on right now. So before I get started, I'm going to quickly let some guests introduce themselves, just tell us where they heard of us and what are they looking forward to from today's meeting. I know, Eugene, you came in earlier. Ulas Raj, are you with us?
Yes, good evening, everyone. I am from Educate Toastmasters. Actually, your meeting link was shared to me by my VP PR, and I was interested in knowing what is Moment of Truth. So I'm here. And all the best for the meeting.
So we're looking forward to have you today. Purnima, would you like to introduce yourself? Purnima Hedge, are you with us? Hi, Dinesh, good to see you. We have some very senior Toastmasters here today. We have DTM Deepa Surendran, who's a part of our XCOM as well. Thank you for being here. We have DTM Abida Akhtar, who is a part of our XCOM as well. Thank you for being here. Yes, JP, thanks for encouraging us. We have DTM Lakshmi, who is our finance chair at the XCOM as well. Thank you, DTM Lakshmi, for being a part of our team. And Dinesh Kumar is also a very senior Toastmaster. Thank you for being with us. DTM Lakshmi is, I think, foresting at the moment. Eugene, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Eugene. I'm from the St. Mary's Toastmasters, and I've just heard about the podcasters club, and I was actually welcomed by DTM Deepa. So great to be on board.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Purnima, I assume you're still not here. But we are looking forward to Eugene and all the people who've come for first times to us. We will send the link. You can send your details. And we are looking forward to some great content of podcast coming up. We also have educational sessions coming in today and a lot of action-packed. And we're going to start with a session of Moments of Truth, which is everything we need to know about our club, and in very, very, very safe hands of a very, very senior established Toastmaster who is going to lead this one. She is a distinguished Toastmaster. In only 2 months of being in the XCOM, I have been communicating with her and I have learned so much from her. I love her dedication. She's always available and she is forever hands-on. One of the most hands-on Toastmaster that I've seen in the longest amount of time. And no wonder she's established so many awards and so many laurels at the district and the area level.
Madam President, I think we are doing the contents first. if
We're
I'm
doing
not mistaken.
a moment of truth at 7:15, huh?
No, that we moved to the last.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think Abida has messaged you.
I have messaged you twice. Can you just check? We are doing it
Okay.
after the content, yeah?
So
Okay.
we're doing it after the content. Okay, fine. All right. So no worries. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna give it to Abida. You don't have a timer yet, right?
Yeah, we can ask who's there in house.
Would anyone want to be the timer for the content? Which would be, I can handle the timer.
Dinesh, you can?
Dinesh, would you
Yeah, you
manage the
can.
timer?
I'll share the agenda now.
Yeah.
Excellent. Great. So I'm going to hand over to the first content guide, who is Abida. Can you help me with that? Who is the first content guide? Is that
I am the content guide, the first
you're the
content guide.
presenter? Yes, you're the guide. So, so our VP Education is going to take over from you for the first content presentation.
Sorry, there is a confusion again. Content guide is JP now, actually.
JP,
I'm
yes,
going to
yeah.
present Ashish.
Present the content. Okay. All right. I think I'll, President Alfia, I'll take over.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jay Prakash. I'm based out of Bangalore, and good to be part of this global community. And Abida is a versatile personality, as I know her, a teacher. And one thing I truly believe is that teachers have been doing a fantastic job during this pandemic. Okay, I have a teacher at home, and especially the way they have adapted to the digital platforms and also taken our students along. Let's all give a big hand for Abida and all the teachers. And also Abida's topics have always been brings in a lot of insights on life and how we synchronously live or holistically weave them together, right? And that's what we always strive for, right? I'm also looking forward to, and another thing I totally respect and look up to her is her consistency, right? She has been consistent all the last 1 year. So with that, I would hand it over to Abida to share her content and take it from there. And also I would share how we are going to evaluate, right? We see all of us are gardeners here, right? And Abida is the plant or tree, or her content is the plant or tree which we are going to nurture or help her to get better, right? So we will be keenly observing the content, and let's note down as a listener what resonates with us, what doesn't resonate with us. Now that's one aspect of it from the content perspective. Second one is on the technology part of it or the user experience part of it, how we are getting it, right? And I'm sure it's all our personal views, and DTM Abida will take it with a pinch of salt, and it will implement the to get her content better. So take it away, DTM Abida. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jayaprakash. And yes, I'll take it a pinch of salt, but today I'm going to be Toastmaster Ashish. It's not exactly my content. I'm going to share Toastmaster Ashish content. So due to unavoidable circumstance, he couldn't make it. He was the original content presenter. So I'm going to do the honor of presenting his content, which he has shared with me. So this is something from Cast Show. You will really enjoy this. And as you know, our Toastmaster Ashish, he seems to be really silent with all his. I mean, this is not Ashish, obviously. Yeah, you would have seen him. You just have a blank kind of a face, but the expressions which come out later, the verbal expressions, it talks volumes about him, right? Right away, I'm supposed to present his content, which is a podcast. I'll just do that right now. I need a screen sharing. Host, I hope the screen sharing is there for me. Yes?
Yes, always allowed.
Right. Exactly. I will show how it looks this way. Just let me know if it is audible. Roastmasters podcast. It's at the cast box. Is it seen? Is it visible?
Yes, yes.
Right. Thank you, JP.
You're sharing sound?
I'm going to share that. Yes, this is this is how it looks, where our Toastmaster Ashish has done his podcast, and he asked me to play this as well. I'll do that. This is how it looks. Hope I'm not lost anywhere. I'll stop sharing. Yeah. This is how it looks. And then he wanted me to play this.
No.
Welcome to the Roastmasters. Enjoy listening to your favorite Toastmasters getting roasted. Here's your host for the day. I'm Reeds. Now that's just an abbreviation. I am Ritika.
Yes.
JP, can you?
Yes. Looks good. You can start from the beginning, DT Ambida. Sounds good.
Audible, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's good.
Right.
Welcome to the Roastmasters podcast. Enjoy listening to your favorite Toastmasters getting roasted. Here's your host for the day. I'm Reeds. Now that's just an abbreviation. I am Ritika. Welcome, Ruchi. Thank you. Now let's see who is our toast number 2. Virata, welcome. Yes. Have you heard about dress sense?
Oh my god.
So there is a sixth sense called as dress sense.
Well,
right?
I don't know what you mean by dress sense, to be honest.
Well, she doesn't go to the parlor, right? So
that
she doesn't
sense is
see.
gone for me.
I
I look parlor once in probably 6 or 4 months.
Look,
She's like me. She goes once in 4
Oh
months.
god, once in 4 months. Okay, okay.
I have to introduce my two wonderful guests today. So we have some heavyweights of the Toastmasters circuit today with us. We have the wonderful Toastmaster Deepa and the very serious looking Toastmaster Jensen. And this is Toastmaster Ashish, of course. How can I forget to introduce myself? Your host for the day.
Thank you for that, Ashish.
Is that a compliment? Deepa, don't you think he's serious?
He's serious, and I'm always suggesting him like he has to start smiling in front of.
Come on, Jensen, smile. Yes, so now one secret is out. Jason was the most desirable guy in school. Is that right?
Wanted.
Wanted, yes, see.
Feels good to know if that was true, but...
You don't know.
Do you get an impression Jensen would, as partying in Goan beaches, sitting in his colorful shorts with sunglasses?
Yeah.
The guys, I can imagine maybe he was this long-haired, weirdo-looking, sitting in his orange shorts.
Can imagine like that.
I can clearly understand, Ashish. You can imagine a long hair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For the benefit of people, now this is not a visual medium, so I have kind of airily challenged. Okay. Apparently, I was told that girls hate people who just blabber on. They like people who are very deep, brooding, introspective. And angry.
Yeah.
Correct? Girls like such people? Yes. So Deepa is endorsing that.
Yes, but...
yes, so the girls did like you a lot in school.
Yeah.
Yes, so now one secret is out. Jason was the most desirable guy in school. Is that right? Wanted, yes, see.
Feels good to know if that was true, but...
You don't know.
No, I don't think so. I thought that was the same impression, but I was having a totally different reaction from the girls.
Oh my god.
So Jensen, what do you think Deepa was like in school?
Deepa was definitely a bully.
What kind of a bully? Someone like a class monitor? I think she was.
Yeah, she was a class monitor.
Yes.
Baby.
So coming back, jumping to your life later on. So Deepa, what brought you to Toastmasters? And are you a bully at Toastmasters?
Oh my god, I don't know.
No? You should ask others.
Yes,
what do you think, Jensen? Again, you want to be diplomatic now.
No, it's not about being diplomatic, but Toastmasters, it is Toastmasters. So we don't say she's a bully, but we would say she's very... She's
supportive.
A leader, maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. Everything, like, whatever I participated in essay competition, story writing or speech or evaluation. I mean, what is it? Elocution.
You are used to saying evaluation.
Yeah.
In school also you are.
Elocutions, and then and dance and.
You are a dancer. What kind of a dance?
Classical.
Making people dance or dancing?
Myself.
Oh, yes. People made you dance. And so what did she say when she met you first? Do you remember?
Welcome to Greens Dubai Toastmasters Club.
Okay.
That was a standard.
Standard sales pitch. So she was
That was
pitching
standard
to you.
sales pitch,
Okay.
yes.
So did you also win the first table topics contest?
I don't remember actually.
Because is this a norm now? Because I also won the first time I went as a guest. I won a table topics contest. Now
Exactly, and you became a member, right? So-
Exactly. Now I get it. Now I get it. Guys, now I get it. Yes.
I'm your host, Ruchi. Don't bother about my second name because you won't remember it, you can't pronounce it, and just forget it. Now, I think that should be a table topics on why
This is called table topics.
Table topics,
Even then,
yeah.
Ritika will maybe speak for 5 minutes.
I can speak for
Can
10
you-
minutes here. I can speak for 10 minutes.
it's modern art.
That
because
is why,
you
Ashish, it's a modern art, They're
Ruchi
just
was-
trying to...
yeah. It's as old as Ruchi.
as old.
Oh my
Which
god.
speaks a lot.
Yeah,
So
it
speaks
a
the
lot.
oldest guy in this room, clearly.
We'll die listening this artificial intelligence idea for sure.
I think this is not futuristic. This is like artificial intelligence is supposed to be futuristic. He's talking.
See, look, people who don't have natural intelligence will not understand this. That's the
Oh, I
problem.
see.
And what if you don't have any lesson in your speech?
I did nothing in life, actually. So I don't know what. It's my biggest problem when I prepare for international speeches.
What to put?
My
in
story is, as I said, I had this buffalo. I tagged along behind this buffalo. So my motto, find your buffalo. Good. This is my
Find
speech.
your
Find your
He
buffalo.
just crafted his international
Yes,
speech here,
right,
which,
podcast.
according to me, is only his humorous speech because it really is not international. Cheating, don't worry.
Ritika, I don't know if she understood what Ruchi said.
Exactly,
Because I
that's what
think-
I'm saying,
That's her
he's
motto.
repeating
She
her.
doesn't understand the topic. Her answer is prepared. That's how she does. So whatever the topic is honesty is the best policy. Yes, I did this in life. I did that. Yes. So what is the topic? Yeah, honesty is the best policy. That's how.
Look, I have one script which is always ready
Yes.
to be
That's a
used in
smart
table
idea.
topic. We hope you enjoyed listening to the Roastmasters podcast. Stay tuned until next time.
I hope you enjoyed listening as I did. Over to you, JP.
Sure.
That was
Thank.
Toastmasters official podcast.
Hey, thank you, DTM Abida and virtually Toastmaster Ashish for a fantastic piece of content. So let's directly dive deep into the the review of it or the facilitation. Okay. So we will go ahead asking fellow Toastmasters about each aspects of it, and then we will take it from there. Let me start with the president, Alifia. So what do you think about the opening of the content, right? Opening of the podcast.
I think the opening was a little chaotic when everyone was talking together and there wasn't like any introduction, like we didn't know what to expect. And the music was like maybe a little loud or a little rough or something because there wasn't any. But the rest of the content was amazing.
Okay, good. Thank you, Alifia. Let me move on to Toastmaster Usha. What do you think about the content and share your views?
Yeah, I like podcasts and the conversational methods, conversation between 2-3 people or 3-4 people. So I like this conversation. I mean, having interaction between 2-3 people, laughing out loudly, rather than being one-way method and all that. So actually, I wanted my podcast also to be in a conversational mode. But anyway, I'm in crude form. Today morning only I have downloaded Audacity. And today I have the audacity to present my crude, unsophisticated content in front of you. I don't know whether you laugh at me, ridicule at me. I'm not at all sure about anything, but still I'm taking that courage to take my toddler step today. So about that podcast, I like the way it presented. As Alifia said, I felt, the introductory part should be a bit more clear, so that the audience can expect what is going to happen and all that. The rest all I liked very much. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Usha, thank you. We look forward to hearing your podcast. And, as the name suggests, we podcasters are, in a way, it's a roast masters only, right? We just come come here to get roasted, right? In a, in a better way. Okay, so let's move on to Toastmaster Eugene Pereira. Please share us, how the journey has been from the opening to the how it moved on to the body of the podcast. Is it engaging, and was there a structure? Please
Yeah,
share your views.
I actually love the way the way the thing kicked off. But as Toastmaster Usha has rightly said, that there should have been a proper introduction where the audience could have understood. I mean, what they would be expecting going forward. I mean the title was good. I mean, Roastmasters, and yeah, I mean the whole thing was well articulated. I mean, there wasn't any space in the recordings, and even the background music was apt. And overall, I just found that this team was actually blending together very well. They knew when to fill in the gaps, and when to their voice modulation was I just found it amazing, because it was just something which I mean very natural. It wasn't like something very scripted. So I I really would say it's a big shout out to the team.
Okay, good. So can you share one or two of the roast moments which your takeaway from which stood out? Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you asked Jason whether he was the preferred guy over there, he himself was actually blushing about whether to say yes or no.
No.
Yeah, and even I mean, DTF Deepa, when you asked her about whether she was dancing, or she would make people dance, or she would give the magic wand of dancing. So you know, I just found this quite natural. I mean, rather than being artificial. So
Sure.
It is a great job done.
Thank you, Eugene. Good feedback. So let's move on to Toastmaster Dinesh Kumar. Please share us your views on the timing, and what are your feelings? You felt entertained, educated, or some of the roast moments which you take away from this?
Yeah, thank you, Jai Prakash. So I really enjoyed the roast. So I know all the 6 players from the Green Toastmasters Club. So I know them personally. So I really enjoyed. Like, it was like a conversation in person. I could able to visualize that, how fun. So even Jensen and Deepa, they were getting roasted, but they enjoyed it. So like, okay, so the conversation was little short. What I was expected before those like Jensen and Deepa get introduced, I was expecting Ashish to give 1 minute roasting story. Like, it is a Toastmaster speech, like complete and hype. So there will be more fun. So this particular episode would have been more fun. Then you would have introduced Deepa, then carried away with some aspects, asking the questions or conversation based on the 1 minute roast. So that was my expectation, but I really enjoyed it. It was fun. I really enjoyed that, the question conversations. So thank you.
Sure. Hey, thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh. Hey, timer, may I know how much time do I have?
So now it's 5 minutes 26 seconds. So you have another of minutes.
Another 1.5 minutes. Okay, sure. I think maybe we'll take one more feedback. Toastmaster Lizzie, please go ahead and share your views on this.
Good evening, Jai Prakash. Thank you so much. Good evening to all the fellow Toastmasters. It was a beautiful presentation. I liked it a lot. And the 2 points or the 2 aspects which I felt was that a kind of a small introduction was required in the beginning, because all of a sudden a conversation starting, then it is difficult to make out that what is going to develop in that. That 100% focus was missing in between. And then what I felt that music, yes, of course, music, yeah, some more attention was required towards music. In between, I felt that music was a bit louder than the conversation. Otherwise, it was an awesome presentation, a beautiful presentation, which really could capture people into it. It was amazing. Very well done.
Okay, sure. Hey, thank you, Lizzie. Fair points. So let's ask feedback from one of the participants, TT Deepa. Can you share us your experience as a participant in these Toastmasters? Maybe take 10 to 15 seconds and let us know.
Good evening. Actually, this was a fun experience, and that was the first podcast experience for all of us. We went to a digital studio, and we were sitting in front of that mic with the filters and all. I mean, it actually, we all got scared. And then three people were sitting inside the studio for some time, and it is actually three different interviews or roasting. The mixing is not revealing all those aspects, and maybe Ashish would have randomly mixed it, but otherwise there is a good introduction part as well for each recording, and maybe he wanted to present it in a lighter side. I think that is how it came up. But the second part, I mean, throughout the roasting part, I mean, we were all enjoying. It is not only we getting roasted, but we were roasting Ashish as well. So that part he cut off. So he was he's acting very smart. Anyway, thank you. Back to you.
Okay. Hey, thank you, Toastmaster Deepa, for all the behind the scenes, and that Ashish didn't do a fair job in revealing his own part, right? He being roasted. Okay, so sure. Let me summarize. I mean, I'm sure all of us enjoyed this content, right? It's a 5 minutes of fun banter, and this is what resonates with that, right? Casual conversations, having 2-3 people, and true to its name, it was talking about roasting the Toastmasters, the topic, and other things. And I believe the technology part, or the the recording and editing part has been done well. And I would like to acknowledge here that the introductions were a bit chaotic. There were 2-3 characters. I thought Ritika was going to host the show, or Ruchi. Then Ashish, like a Rajinikanth, comes in and then talks about it, right? And Jensen and Deepa were a sudden surprise. I don't know, it's by design, but there were a lot of characters. And I believe it was like a continuous series, and this is only a trailer. That's my understanding. Okay. And another thing was that find your buffalo, right? I believe it was relating to find your why, right? So it was that's another roast, right? It was hilarious, and then it was taking it from there. So to summarize, a great attempt overall. I mean, a great content and technically well done with all the music and other aspects of it. And Ashish is playing to his strengths, which is his light-hearted banter and taking life easy, and that's something which I would that's a learning. Play with your strengths. That's important. And having more characters brings in that vibrancy and helps to keep it going, right? You won't run short of it and makes it interesting. And the areas of improvement, yes, the introductions could have been better, and I'm sure he will take it from here, and we look forward to the further episodes or the series of it. Thank you. With that, I would like to hand it back to our President Alifia.
Thank you, JP, for that awesome summary. And we always love listening to new podcasts on the platform. Let's bring it on to our next content presenter, which is going to be Abida again. The next content guide.
And content guide and content guide number 2.
Okay, lovely.
Here we go. Content presenter is herself a Jhansi Ki Rani. So first time I saw her in Dubai, I used to think I'm the one, all people used to call me Jhansi Ki Rani. But I met another Jhansi Ki Rani. I think my content presenter would remember the washroom scene where all the ladies get together at the DTAC, and she had to tell me something, words of wisdom. And from there on, it started raging in me. Yes, I have to do something. So from that day itself, I portrayed her as the Jhansi Ki Rani. Today, she's going to narrate a story. She's titled it as Jhansi Ki Rani. That's a podcast. And she has impersonated. She's going to be the Jhansi Ki Rani in that podcast. Let's hear it for our own DTM Deepa Surendra. Jhansi Ki Rani, over to you.
Good evening again, my dear fellow Toastmasters, podcasters, and the learners. We can see a lot of chaos here, and I am putting myself into that chaos because I am also here to learn. So please don't expect too much. We will have the technical glitches, the big word which we can use for all our errors. But if we are not ready to make mistakes, then we will not succeed, right? So now we know there are many women in folktales, myths, and in history too, who are extraordinarily willful and powerful, like DTM Abhida in olden days. Yeah, my stories are based on those women who are portrayed by male authors in a way I don't agree with their interpretation at all. And I'm trying to redefine them based on my understanding of all those stories, because I cannot interview them as Ashish did during our last podcast. These are the stories of all those males who enchanted me and inspired me all through my life. So today, my effort is to reveal the story of Jhansi Ki Rani, Lakshmi Bai, and the unknown details in a short podcast. So here it is. I would like to get your feedback before publishing it to the entire world so that I can improve upon my podcast later. So please, here it is. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't, I have to reshare because I didn't share the sound. Please let me know if you can hear the sound, yeah?
Welcome to the next episode from the Stories of Epic Women, a podcast about the greatest female warriors of all time. My effort today is to unveil Manikarnika, Jhansi Ki Rani, who is one of India's early freedom fighters who always conquered the society's terms. Rani Lakshmi Bai participated in the first freedom fight and became a leading warrior and left an indelible mark on the Indian freedom movement. Rani Lakshmi Bai refused to surrender to British and called for an armed forces settle. She formed a volunteer army that had men warriors as well as women who were provided military training. Let's listen to her. You all know me, Jhansi Ki Rani. But do you know my name? Do you know when did I lose my life fighting with the invaders, the British East India Company, to free my motherland? You just know that I am Jhansi Ki Rani and I fought for my small country, Jhansi, against the British Empire, the empire on which the sun never sets. At least one part of the territories was always in daylight. Whoever it is, for me, the great Bharatvarsha is the greatest empire. Bharatvarsha is my designated Karma Bhumi too. You all must be thinking that I was brave but foolish fighting the British Empire. The Great Britain. The Great. That's part of its name, Great Britain. Nobody becomes great by invading others, you know. We call the invaders thieves only. My name is Manikarnika. This name comes from the river Ganges. In Banaras, Ganges is famous with the name of Manikarnika. There is a Sanskrit sloka on these names too. Varanasipure Manikarnika Tire. My mother, Bhagirathi Bai. She died when I was 4. My father was Moropan Tambe. He was a scholar from Maharashtra. The then Peshwa, steward of Bittur district, brought me up like his own daughter. I got married to the Maharaja of Jhansi, Raja Gangadhar Rao, in 1842. And then I adopted the name of Lakshmi Bhai. Our only son, Damodar Rao, was born in 1851. But when he was 4 months old, we lost him. Then we adopted a child called Anand Rao, the son of Raja Gangadhar Rao's cousin, who was renamed Damodar Rao. But the next day, Raja, my husband, died. Then all these stories began. Lord Dalhousie took advantage of this situation in Jhansi and did everything he could to capture it. He passed the doctrine of lapse, under which he claimed that if the ruler of any Indian state died without a legal heir, the kingdom would be dissolved and would be annexed to English East India Company's territories. But who is he to dictate how we should rule our country? I did not surrender to this new doctrine, and I pledged that I would not surrender my Jhansi at any cost. A year later, in 1854, he sent an annual pension amount of rupees 60,000 and was asked to leave the Jhansi fort and the position immediately. To me, to the Jhansi, I did not budge. I did not budge. During the rebellion of 1857 against these invaders, we at Jhansi remained in peace, but we worked towards setting up a foundry that cast cannons to be used in the walls around the fort of Jhansi, and also assembled troops that would help me in get rid of these invaders. It was in 1858 the British troops finally arrived to take control over Jhansi, and I told them, "Main apni Jhansi nahi dungi." I will not give my Jhansi, and I would fight for independence. While the battle was still going on, because of a treacherous act by one of my earlier general who changed his side, expecting to become the Raja of Jhansi, handed over the secrets of the fort to the invaders. But then I realized winning was difficult and left the battleground. Damodar was tied to my back. I left the battleground to return with more power and retaliate. We were in Kalpi. After that, myself, Thandiya Tope, Peshwa Nana Sahib, and other leaders were prepared to defend Kalpi. However, once the British attacked, the resilience could not last there also. Then Thandiya Tope and Rao Sahib and myself flee to Golio and joined the Indian force of rebellion at Golio. It was at Golio over 5,000 of the defenders, which included everyone over the age of 16, were brutally slaughtered by the British army. And it was in this battle I was brutally injured and shot myself. Though everyone says I am brave, they try to attach me with the rebellion. Rebellion for what? The British were invaders. We were just defending our motherland. Yes, I was a rebel against these wrong traditions imposed against women in those days. When my husband, my dear Raja, died, I did not do sati. I did not kill myself. I did not shave my head. I did not break my bangles. I did not stop wearing colors. It is unfortunate. It is unfortunate when we lose our life partner. But society has no right to impose death penalty on the survivors' lives, especially if one is a woman. Women have every right to continue living their lives as men do. And I am a Rani, the queen, and it was my duty to take care of my citizens. I was supposed to give them a healthy life, and that is what I tried to do, but failed in making everyone together as one army, as one team, as Shivaji Maharaj did. We need to stand together every time. Then only we can win. Jai Bharat.
So that is it. So now I would request your feedback through our content guide. Distinguished Toastmaster Abida, back to you.
Excellent. What an amazing treat to our ears. This is what we start with appreciation, isn't it, Toastmasters? I would like to hear it from you, based on the ones which I found, which you can just build it upon. First and foremost, Toastmaster, somebody's entering in-house, but he didn't listen to it. I would have asked him. Yes, Toastmaster Lizzie, starting with Toastmaster Lizzie, how did you find the opening of this podcast, Jhansi Ki Rani?
Thank you, DT Mavida. The opening was awesome. And yes, music and the presentation as she's introducing herself to be Jhansi Ki Rani. That was amazing. Her own introduction given by Jhansi Ki Rani was amazing. And it made it so natural. And yes, of course, I felt as if I'm walking with Jhansi Ki Rani. That was amazing. A beautiful content presentation. Yeah, it was good. Excellent, I would say. A good amount of research work has gone into it. Amazing. Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lizzie. Now let's move on to, now in our Toastmasters, we talk about TMI, brand compliance and all that, isn't it? Now I want to know, in our podcasters, we have something to do with music. How is the music? And this I would like to ask, how about DTM Lashmi? Are you in house, DTM Lashmi?
Sorry, yeah, I'm here. I love the podcast. Deepa, I have listened to the very first one, and from there to here, she literally made me walk with her the story of Jhansi. But I do feel that she put in a lot of emotion, but her voice was very soft. I would have liked to have seen a more punching voice. And I know she can speak like that also. The music, actually, that is one thing I actually concentrated on to check. Maybe was it the music? No, the music was quite mild, but I feel, I do not know how whether she could have increased her volume when she prepared the podcast. That would have made it even better. Overall, it was an amazing podcast and very well. I really felt, yes, I'm walking along. This is what I would like to listen to when I'm on a long drive or before going to bed, just relaxing with relaxing there. This is really very good. Thank you.
Thank you so much, DTM Lashmi. my question to Toastmaster Eugene now. Yes, Toastmaster Eugene. When DTM Lashmi spoke about the voice, the tonality, the modulation, would you like to give us some more tips about give some more tips about the voice as such for DTM Deepa? What
Well,
you have into the voice as such?
Yeah, thank you so much, TM Adija. I'm just a newbie into this. I'm just a child, just testing the waters over here. But overall, she's taken us back to patriotism. That's one thing I would say. And the way she's done a lot of research. I mean, she's a very gifted and a very talented person, which we all know. She's there everywhere. When we talk about Toastmasters, one of the pictures which comes into our mind is Deepa. She's there everywhere. She's like the butterfly which keeps flying everywhere. But regarding the voice, yeah, I mean, I would think, some points when she says, when me and Tantya Tope was, we were actually fighting the battle. She could have just emphasized, like, there were times when me and Tantya Tope, we really struggled. So, that point, and even during that war time, where she says, I was defeated, I was hurt. At that time in the background, she could have put some sound of some things clamming together, and she could say, I just fell. She could just show that breathlessness, when she's almost falling down, So that could have had more of expressions, It could have brought that, that empathy in us, of she falling down, and finally when her closing statement of saying, being proud of India, she could have had a very loud voice, like to me towards it, we say Jai Hind. So that shows the power of these are just my small nuggets which I could just share with you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Eugene. Well taken. Now, how about the overall structure? May I ask Toastmaster Krishna Raj Iyer? In-house, I can see Toastmaster Krishna Raj Iyer. Would you like to throw some light on this? If there is no response, then I would ask JP. JP, yes. Toastmaster Jayaprakash.
Yes, I think it's a before getting into the content, I see, I just want to share a proverb, right? There is an African proverb: unless the lion comes and talks about it, all the history is going to, price highly only of the hunter, right? With that being said, yes, and also another thing is that whenever Deepa comes to present something, this is the question I want to ask. I know men are the villain. Who is the heroine, right? so that's how it has been. And this story, it is again, another woman we all adore, and for her bravery and other things, also bringing out her aspects of it, right? We live in a society even where when a heroine sings, the lyrics are written by men, right? He will simulate their expressions and then write it. So it's important how a woman feels, especially all these stronger women, we come and hear that, right? And overall, it's a good piece of content, and I appreciate the consistency and the energy to come and present, right? It takes a lot of courage. Of course, I also felt that the energy level has been a little bit low, right? Starting from the beginning, and later part of the content you picked it up. Okay. Overall, I see that to be a good piece of content. The areas of improvement is that one, as Eugene said, the voice part of it, and I'm sure you can bring in a lot of emotions and can definitely make it better. And I see this as a draft version, and you can improve it and then definitely present it to us. And a great shout out to you for the courage to come out and present to us and keep it going.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jayaprakash. I can see the red card, but still I have to summarize. Overall, yes, the structure, the opening, body, conclusion. I would say it went on really well, DTM Deepa, and I could actually feel the doctrine of lapse, the green Indian history textbook, which we learned for our board exams those days. I could remember all those things like I was just walking through with you, Jhansi Ki Rani. Yes, the voice could have been actually improved a lot at places, many places where like what I felt was like, मैं अपनी झांसी लेके रहूंगी. She could have told, मैं अपनी झांसी लेके रहूंगी, something like that. You know, as Toastmaster Eugene also mentioned, Jai Hind or something. Then the rebellion, some kind of words where you can stress and emphasize. Ganges, rebellion, and the sloga, I couldn't remember the sloga. Mellow down, and then again you could have risen up. So you know the tonality. So all that could have been implemented, DTM Deepa. Otherwise, fantastic podcast. And best of all, as we are living with you as Jhansi Ki Rani. And we need more Jhansi Ki Ranis. It's nothing against the men. Men remain men. Yes, but Jhansi Ki Ranis, we need more Jhansi Ki Ranis. And of course, this is an eye-opener for all of us. Thank you so much for such a wonderful presentation, DTM Deepa. Over to my content 3 guide. I would directly give it to a content 3 guide. That is Toastmaster Radhika. Toastmaster Radhika?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, DTM Abida. Good evening, everyone. So today we have an experienced educator, Toastmaster Usha, who is going to take her first step in the world of podcast. So stay tuned and we will look forward your valuable feedback after the podcast. So over to you, Toastmaster Usha.
Okay, shall I directly move on to my podcast?
Yes.
Okay, this is not a podcast, but a reflection on my Toastmasters path. So I'm not going to publish it anywhere, just to show you what I can do. That's all. It has no emotions, no variety. I'm going to present it. That's all. Okay, just let me open up 1 minute.
Do share sound.
Yeah, sound is not there.
What happened, Deepa?
Share audio.
Yeah, stop sharing, and then when you're sharing, that tick that sound box also on the left bottom.
Sound box is behind because it's not working, Deepa.
Then we cannot hear, no, now.
You cannot hear?
No, you didn't share the
Okay,
sound.
okay, sorry. You cannot hear now?
No,
Okay,
you have to stop sharing and start again.
Okay, you cannot hear anything?
No, we didn't
hear
anything. Okay, only I can hear. Okay, sorry. Okay, I will just start again. I'll just share the screen. It's a crude one, so please forgive me because it's not working. Yeah, it's okay now. Can you hear me?
No. When you are sharing, on the left bottom, you can see a checkbox, share sound. You have to do that.
Can you cannot hear?
No, we didn't hear anything. So when you
Okay, you
share,
cannot- yeah.
before clicking share, just look at the left bottom. There is a share sound.
Okay. Where is that? Let me find. Share sound in this this Audacity also.
No. When you're sharing that screen. Share
Only in
screen.
the Zoom sharing screen.
Okay, share screen. Okay, let me see. While sharing the screen, share sound is not coming.
You have to tick that one. One checkbox is there, right?
The bottom left corner.
Bottom left corner, sharing the
Of the
audio.
sharing screen. Yeah, sharing
Okay,
audio. Yeah.
Share audio settings. So shall we share audio settings?
Yes, check that box. Share audio.
It's not there.
Hey, Usha, what do you see on the screen when you click on share screen?
The audio settings, select a microphone, same as system. That one you have to share. Or apps. Let me see apps.
When you click on share screen for this Zoom window, when you're clicking on green color, right? Share screen.
Yeah.
Only click on that. What do you see on your screen?
I can see all those 3-4 options that I can open.
Correct?
Yeah.
In the bottom left of that small window that opened, what do you see? Do you see share sound, optimize for video clip?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Check that
Okay,
box.
thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. Okay, because it's never happened. Now I can hear.
Now you're playing?
I'm Usha Soman.
Can you
The
hear?
purpose of this podcast is to reflect on my growth during the completion of an entire path in my Toastmasters Pathways journey. When I ruminate on the path I traveled, I got to know that becoming a proficient speaker is a lifelong journey. There is always something better to do. And as a teacher, it was important for me to ensure I'm able to hold the attention of my audience during my lectures, for which presentation skills are very important. This in turn led me to choose presentation mastery as my first path when I commenced to explore with Toastmasters. When I contemplate on the path I have trod, I realize that nothing can surpass the first step you take. I could do the icebreaker without any script, and I spoke from my heart, recalling the childhood adventures, ruling the roost at home fancy-free. That footloose girl bloomed into a matured adult in the path of life. Initiating the Toastmaster journey was easy, but then I had to structure a proper speech. What to think, what to write, and what to speak, how to develop it into a speech. I was confused. I felt even the tangerines I was squeezing into juice was mocking at me, saying, Hey, you are able to extract our essence. Nevertheless, are you able to extract the script for your next speech from your mind? I felt embarrassed and devastated. However, I had a strong mentor who was meticulous in his approach, who was insistent that the objectives should be met. Phew, will I ever be done with them? Definitely not an easy task. When I pulled the curtain back a bit, as a protege, at first I felt myself like a combination of ill-fitting parts like that of a platypus, unable to stitch my thoughts together, and even without a firm axis. Toastmasters has given me that firm access and a strong habitats. My research projects helped me to delve deeper into topics and widened my perspectives. As an educator, I have natural, untrained gestures unlike a business person or a salesperson. I never understood the importance of hand gestures. My mentor helped me realize that. He said, when eyes don't connect, words lose their meanings. When lips don't smile, the laughter is meaningless. And when legs don't move, the rhythm is not getting you. This is the relationship between body language and your words. A seed planted in a fertile soil gets nourishment and water and goes deeper and stronger into the soil. And later, it becomes a mighty oak one day. The deeper the foundation, the better the mentee becomes. This is called as a mentor-mentee relationship in Toastmasters. Here, through my projects, I knew about the importance of various communication styles and thus to identify my primary styles. My interview project in Toastmasters helped me to realize how to approach an interview and how to respond to an interviewer. My panel moderation of a cross-examination debate was the best cap I ever donned in Toastmasters. I was fortunate to get the best of the panelists. It was a real learning session for me to acquire effective moderation skills. Wow! Oh my gosh! I found a skilled moderator in me. A common feedback that I received was the lack of focal variety. And I had difficulty in dramatizing within context during my delivery. I researched a lot to identify ways by which I can bring in better voice modulation and gestures. As a Toastmaster, this is an ongoing journey. For each speech is different and requires to learn a different type of delivery based on the objectives in the speech itself. Over the following months, it dawned on me that I'm able to use the skills I learned in my day-to-day life. Without even me realizing it, my conversational skills had improved. I sharpened my debating skills. I was able to better motivate my students to focus on their learning. I consciously made efforts to improve my driving skills as well as to do my teacher's licensing tests. A journey I set out to become a better speaker developed into me, and consciously applying a structured approach to all aspects of my life, the transformation has begun within me. My sole aim is to become a simple motivational speaker, never to become an internationally credited speaker. When I joined Toastmasters, I thought I should use motivational quotes, idioms and expressions, and complex vocabularies to be a stupendous speaker. As I progressed in this journey, I have discerned that it's important to keep the message simple and direct. Bombastic phrases may sound grand, but it doesn't make an effective speaker. To have the right impact, ensure The narration is inspiring to the content and connect with the audience. To have an impactful speech, the focus has to be on the content, followed by simple language, delivery with appropriate focal variety and gestures. I've learned immensely in this journey and been inspired by various mentors and Toastmasters. I hope to provide similar mentorship and inspiration to others who partake in this Toastmasters journey. As I step forward into my next path, I'm excited, I'm scared, but I'm determined to never let anything stop me in moving ahead. Toastmasters is where the learning never ends.
I know. I myself laugh hearing this. I don't know.
Wonderful podcast, Toastmaster Usha. Wonderful. So let's start taking feedback. And I'll start with the DTM Deepa. What do you think about the beginning of this podcast?
She mentioned that this is, she wanted to mention that this is not a podcast or something like that. But I'm not sure who is deciding what is a podcast. The listeners, right? So the podcaster, there is no need for her to define whether it is a podcast or a speech or reflect on path or whatever. You start your path, you start what you are supposed to say, and then the entire content is really beautifully narrated. So taking an excuse at the beginning is not required. That is the first thing I would like to mention to the podcaster. She has done a wonderful job. So please continue doing this. No need of any excuse at the beginning. And we all need to say thank you. We need to thank the presenter, the podcaster, for sharing the experience. You don't need to say thank you or sorry or nothing. We are getting the benefit out of your podcast. So next time, please start with a bang and continue. No need of any excuse at all. This is what I would like to mention, and this is what I grasped at the beginning. Hope this answers your query, Radhika.
Wonderful suggestion to DTM Deepa. It's really wonderful. And next, I'll move on to DTM Dinesh. Where do you feel it was most effective for you? Dinesh, are you there? Yeah.
So thank you, Radhika. So where I found effective was I felt like the voice modulation was there. So I felt like that part she really excelled in it, and the content was very good, and the use of anecdotes and that was very good. So these aspects, the voice modulation and the use of the structured or the vocabularies really was very good, which was adding value to the speech. So those angles she really excelled.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh. Thank you so much. Let's move to Toastmaster Alifia. What is your views about content?
I would give a big kudos to get started. I mean, it's the best thing you can ever do. As in, not judge it, bring that bravery together and to really put it together. And that bravery that it needs to take the first step is all, it's a very big step. And I want to congratulate her to do it. And absolutely, as we keep doing, you can, everything you learn and all the tips we get at this podcasters meeting every fortnight that we meet is only theory lessons until you do your first podcast, because that's when that theory makes more sense. Because until that, it's just theory. You can watch hundreds of YouTube videos and stuff, but until you do your first podcast, you really have no relevance to anything that we discuss in these meetings every fortnight. So I want to really congratulate her one more time to really come up with that first podcast, and it's the first step taken. In terms of the content, I loved the authenticity. She's just come out, she's just spoken her voice out, and that's the power of Toastmasters. So if we still have any guests in this room, it helps you to voice out the entire, all that mix of emotions and everything, and just puts it down on a paper, and it just puts it down how you put it out. So I think that was what came out. It was extremely raw. It was authentic. As we mature and as we progress, there is potential to put some humor, to make sure, are we engaging the audience? Is there a place where you can ask a question? How do you invite the audience into your world of experience and put a question saying, have you experienced that same thing? What do you think about it? And that is somewhere where people will pause and see what you're saying and include them in your journey and into your life. And that's an opportunity we could have in this talk. But it was an amazing start, and I still want to keep the level up. And the great feedback that we already got about the other values of speech is something that you should take away. And we look forward to your next podcast.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alethea. Thank you so much. And now let's, Toastmaster Jayaprakash, what do you think about the technical setup, like pitch, voice modulation, and pauses and all?
Okay. Usha, where are you all these days, right? So that was a Tiger Woodsian debut, right? A Tiger Woods won the championship in his first match, okay? And this has been one of the best debuts we have seen. And also I would take a step back and start with a disclaimer, right? All of us think that, okay, digital is something very complex, right? It is just another layer. And I always have highest regard for all the teachers, right? And the way they tell stories and their voice intonation and all. I mean, I'm sure if they start giving public speaking, they will give a run for the money for many speakers. So having said that, what matters is that end of the day, the experience, how I look at it or how I hear the audio, right? From that way, it has been fantastic. Okay. You used Audacity directly. The recording was very clear, and also your voice modulations and other thing you have practiced in your first speech itself. That is something excellent. Okay. And you are a great speaker, and I believe you have been giving speeches for some time. Digital is just a medium, and it is something all of us will continue to learn, and it is endless. And what is important, I believe, is that taking that first step, right? And I'm really proud of you that you have taken the first step, and I'm sure you will continue to rock. And I'm looking forward to hearing more such inspiring speeches. And digital and technology is evolving. I mean, humor has excelled in it. They will always, I can go and punch some 10 holes in it, right? That this is not good. It's an evolving journey, and I'm sure we all will get better with the time and as we do more. Congratulations and best wishes to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jayaprakash. So overall, congratulations, Toastmaster Usha, for your first and biggest step. I really like your content and delivery as well. We can use, in fact, this podcast for our Toastmaster PR as well. We got to know so many benefits about the Toastmasters. So it's a wonderful podcast, and all the best for your next podcast as well. Over to you. Over to Alethea, I think so.
You're on mute.
Thank you, Radhika and Jay Prakash and Abida and the content presenters for that beautiful feedback and so powerfully creating that feedback which is the champion for all, is a food for all champions. So it was beautifully done, and thank you for creating that moment for our presenters. And we encourage more and more presenters to do more and more content going forward. Now is the big time for the big story we started with. And now is the time for a little bit of truth and a little bit of honesty and a little bit of reality check and a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of mixed emotions, and the braveness needs to come out from all of us. We want to encourage all of us to be honest, be pure. Let's work strongly. And I would give the session of the moments of truth into extremely, extremely, extremely capable hands of our very own DTM, Deepa Surendra. She's the most experienced, and we're looking forward to get educated. And we want to see how we can all bring this club to something that is the most valuable for all our members and make it a platform where you can all succeed and become established digital content presenters. Over to you, DTM Deepa.
Thank you. But is it LinkedIn and linked out now? Abhida?
Oh, wanted to do it after the content presentation. So if you want to go ahead, yeah, because she has already given another beautiful profile of what MOT is. So we would rather like to listen to your voice.
Okay.
If we can wait.
Okay.
Are we waiting for someone else to come and do it, or is it going to be in-house done?
No. Myself, yeah. So actually, I was thinking that JP is ready over there to link us together. So why snatch the opportunity? That's what. Anyway, now let me ask you one question, my dear fellow Toastmasters and guests. When you go to a showroom to buy something, what is the first thing you all look forward to?
Ambience.
Ambience. Okay. Yes, Abhida.
The product, you're talking about the product or the ambience first? So
yeah, whatever.
What do you buy something? I would look for the quality first, maybe. Quality first. Number 2 is price. Quality, price. And my purse. And my purse. That's it.
Okay.
And then my husband.
The decision maker, yeah. Okay. Now we heard ambience, the quality, price, and then decision maker's choice. What do you think, Toastmaster Usha? What is your take?
If you're comparing with Toastmasters, I would say quantity too. We look at the quantity, the number of members that we have. If you are linking with that.
Okay, fine.
Then price, ambience, whether it is expensive or whether it is consumable, like that, various items we look into.
Okay. Okay. Now, let me ask one more question. Do you remember your first day in school? Like
first
Toastmaster
day,
Usha?
No, not at all.
You can't remember?
But
nothing
my first
good,
day in
nothing bad.
Toastmasters, I remember. First day in Toastmasters.
And that time also you looked for the quantity?
No, never. I just went there for experience.
Okay. So that was not that important, but you looked for something else. What were those, essence, the attributes of that particular club? Which got
actually without knowing anything, I went into that, just dived into that club, and I didn't know what is Toastmaster, what is happening there. I just want to experience what is it, because I want to improve my speaking skills. So that was the only target for me. So I just want to join a club. So directly I got a chance to get into my club. Thus I got experience from that.
Okay, fine. Yeah, fair enough. Now let me get some people sitting here hiding. Toastmaster Ullas Raj, you are here to understand what is Moments of Truth. Let me know what was your first attraction in your school or in Toastmasters. If you remember about school, share that one. He's not responding. Toastmaster Lizzie.
Thank you, DTM Deepa. Something that fascinated me here at Toastmasters is the development of my language. I really wanted to work upon my language. I was already working on podcasting in Hindi. I was already doing that. I really wanted to do something in English, and for that, I wanted some kind of skills. And so I thought of joining this place. But before I could decide anything about this, I received an invitation from you all. So that was fantastic. And I'm always grateful to God for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And you speak very well in English. It was not Hindi, right?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So actually, moments of truth are the moments which will create an impact in our mind. If I go back in my memory, I remember my first school day. I think I was 3 years. I went with my brother because my parents enrolled him on first standard that day. And then, nobody was there to take care of me at home. So I just went with him. And some kids were, crying, but majority were playing around. And I joined with them and I was very happy. I got new company and the teachers were very, oh, okay, come sit with your brother or you want to sit with the girls, etc. Those kind of things I vaguely remember. And in Toastmasters, I still remember the broad smile of our VPM who who welcomed me into my Toastmasters club. It was, of course, not a virtual meeting. So she shook hands with me and she actually became my mentor as well. She was really tough after that. Yeah. But I still remember that first smile. So these are the, moments I remember, I cherish. And these are the moments I'm sure any point of time will take me back to Toastmasters if I am taking any break. Only thing I'm not able to go back to my school because they will not accept me. They will not welcome me as a student. That's the reason I'm not going back to school. But for Toastmasters, these memories for sure will take me back any point of time. So now moments of truth for Toastmasters. This is an exercise we regularly, every club has to do. Why? Because we are checking on ourselves as members or as officers. Are we able to create that healthy environment in our club? So we all are responsible to provide correct feedback based on certain elements. 6 elements are there, which will be evaluated upon using a survey, or previously it was on a paper, in a sheet of papers. And then what we used to do, we create groups, depending upon the number of attendees. Even guests were asked to to be part of these groups, and they were discussing on these 6 pillars of moments of truth. So what we will do today, I will share the presentation and we will try to understand those 6 pillars. And I'm sure most of us are like Toastmasters. We know what we are talking about. Otherwise, also in life, in our real life, also we have these moments of truth, which will make us remember about the good moments in our life. So I will share, this is a part of our quality programs or program quality. And we are supposed to know about these pillars. That's the reason it is mandatory for us to conduct this session and understand this session and intentionally participate or practice these 6 things, at least these 6 hospitality measures when we are dealing with our club members, etc. So I hope you can see the presentation now. Okay, so the definition of moments of truth is an episode where a person comes in contact with any aspect of the Toastmasters. As Alifia said, she will check the ambience, and DTM Abida mentioned, I will check the product first. Yeah. So any aspect of the Toastmasters. So different people have different, feelings about, which is creating these particular moments of truth for them. Aspect of Toastmasters experience and forms an impression of a club's quality and service. I am sure you all know, like in Toastmasters, it is a cycle of activities where we give and take. We, in the beginning, we all are mentees, but later point of time, we all become mentors of some mentees. So the cycle or the chain of sharing and caring is continuing. That's how the Toastmasters organization, that positivity is created among all the members. So that's the reason we are telling here it is a service. We are here to serve others, and we are here to get the service from others as well. We are giving others respect. We are we are sharing our experience, and we are getting empowered by others' wisdom as well. Now, you all watched how we were sharing our, wisdom on podcasters, how we were supporting and empowering others, how we were encouraging other members. So all these we already witnessed over here. Let's see which are the 6 pillars which we can actually work on. The 6 pillars identified by Toastmasters International are: first impressions, membership orientation, fellowship, variety and communication, then program planning and meeting organization, membership strength, and achievement recognition. Now we will understand what they meant by these 6 pillars. If any doubt is there, you can stop me anytime. These are all self-explanatory, and all of us know about all these things. First impressions. When a guest is entering the Toastmasters meeting room, we are greeting the guest warmly and introduced to officers and members. Guest book and name tags are provided. Professionally arranged meeting room is available. Convenient meeting location. This is for physical meetings, but whether it is convenient to log into Zoom. I think that is the main reason most of the Toastmasters clubs are going with the software Zoom, because most of the other softwares require kind of registration, etc. So not easily, joinable. That is how we can interpret this convenient meeting location in a virtual era. Then guest invited to address the club. When a guest is entering, or when a guest is attending a meeting, we have to go to them, if possible, shake hand. In a virtual meeting, hello, how are you? And then we need to give them an opportunity to speak. And guests are invited to join next time as well. So when I check the results, this is 18 members already answered the queries, and then we have 10 members mentioning we always meet this standard at podcasters. Then we have 4 members mentioning we usually meet this standard. That means sometimes they felt, yeah, we are missing this. That means we members have an opportunity to improve. So when we are perfect, it's not always good, right? Okay, we are doing this, how to improve. Now, instead of that, we have an opportunity here. 8 of our members are mentioning we sometimes meet this standard, or we usually meet the standard. So there is an opportunity to improve upon. Now, membership orientation. So this means formal induction, including presentation of pin. When members are joined, are we doing a formal induction? Assignment of a mentor, is that done? Education programs and recognition systems discussed with the members. Learning needs assessed or what? Discussed. Accommodations for members with disabilities. Speaking roles assigned. Member involved in club activities. So this is the second pillar. And we have the results over here. Again, 18 responses. We always meet the standard. by 5 members. We usually meet the standard by 2 members. We sometimes meet the standard by again 5 members. We rarely meet the standard. 4 of them I've mentioned this, Alifia, President and Excom. There is something we have to look upon, and all the members, let's do this. We never meet the standard commended by 2. So we have a lot to work upon, membership orientation. Then fellowship variety. Guests greeted warmly, enjoyable educational meetings, regularly scheduled social events, participation in area, district and international events, inter-club events, club newsletter, website updated regularly. We are definitely doing all these things. We have got 4 and 5. That is, we are always doing meeting the standard because our Excom is working very hard on this. Now, program planning. Program and agenda publicized in advance. Members are prepared to carry out all program assignments. All projects are from pathways. First, meetings begin and end on time. Creative table topics and activities. Positive and helpful evaluations. Definitely, this also we are at the extreme, like 4 and 5. We are always doing this by 9 people, and then we are mostly doing this by the other 9. Then membership strength. Club has 20 or more members. Members are retained. Promotion clubs, organization or community. Club programs are varied and exciting. Toastmasters sponsoring new members are recognized. Regular membership building programs. These are, this is one pillar which we need to work on from the responses I have received. I request all the members, being the VP membership of this club, I request all the members to help us publicize this about this particular club, and then let's reach to 25 and above, so that all meetings we can have at least 20 attendees. Then we need to retain our members. So promotion is not only the responsibility of VPPR, but it is the responsibility of all the members. So let's do that. Club programs are varied and exciting. Excom is trying very hard, and we need attendance for these kind of exciting meetings. Toastmasters sponsoring new members are recognized that we have planned to start, and then regular membership building programs. Next meeting is an open house in this regard. If that's a discussion going on with the officers. Now, the last one, achievement recognition of all the members. Award applications immediately submitted to World Headquarters. VP is ready to do that for this term. Progress chart displayed and maintained. Of course, member achievements recognized with the ceremony. The club, district, and international leaders recognized that at the opening speech, President is always doing that. Club and member achievements publicized. This term, we are yet to start that because we are waiting for members getting achievements, and then DCP used for planning and recognition. So what we learned, first impressions, membership orientation, fellowship, variety and communication, program planning and meeting organization, membership strength and achievement recognition. Are we doing this? And where we can improve upon in the next term. We will be redoing this session, this assessment in the month of December. So by then, for sure, we have to improve on all these 6 pillars. You never get a chance, second chance to make a first impression. So that is the learning here. So let me ask all our members, are we ready to do this? Yes. So for sure in the month of December, we'll have all positive responses. So with that, let me hand I think now I can introduce Toastmaster Jayaprakash, or our famously known JP, the content presenter, the digital maker, the YouTube presenter, YouTube blogger. Then what else I have to tell? He is updating all our social media channels regularly for podcast Toastmasters Club, and he has taken that pratigya, to make podcasters the one and only podcasting club in the entire world as the best club in the entire world. So now he's here to let us know what is or how to linked in or out. Are we linked in or out? Let's listen to him. Put your hands together to welcome JP, our next presenter. Over to you, JP.
Okay, thank you, DTM Deepa, for the wonderful introduction. I'm humbled, and I also acknowledge there is a lot to do there. Okay, okay. So, how many of us are professionals here or on LinkedIn? Right, know about it as a platform. Okay, I see Alifia and okay, a few of us, right? Yeah, 3-4 of us. Let's do it more like a workshop, as we have people whom we can talk to can answer. Okay, I will share my screen. And okay, how many of us are into business or professional? How many of us are professionals? Okay, all right. I mean, all of us are professional, but some of us are entrepreneurs, right? We run a business and other things. But one thing common all across all of us is that we want to sell ourselves, right? Our skills, talent, or our business, right? We want to add value. Okay, and LinkedIn is one of the platform which helps us to do that, right? And so before we start, let me start with this aspect of it. Okay, so this is one important paradigm called as inbound versus outbound. This is obvious from its name. And what is inbound? Letting the qualified prospects coming to us, right? For example, if we are working in a company, a recruiter reaching out to us using the keywords, how good it will be, right? And if you are running a business, a potential prospect reaching out to us, that is inbound. And outbound is pushing a message out to people, right? Hey, I'm out here. Often we run ads and other things, right? So that's the difference between inbound and outbound. Okay. So though there is another paradigm, right? If we are a professional, we do two things. One is we have our technical skills or our functional skills, and we also have to run ourselves as a media, right? If it is a business, we also simultaneously run our core business and also a media business. That's where we are all here as digital content creators, right? We also have our Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram and all. We want to reach out to people. The same applies if you are a professional as well, right? We also have to run our media company as well as a professional. And in inbound marketing, there is a two-way communication. Okay, we will talk and take feedback on potential feedback will be there. Lead nurturing. Okay, lead as in it may be a job or a opportunity, right? Permission based direct marketing. In inbound marketing, we always, it's a permission based. I mean, we don't go out and push it to someone, right? Someone reaches out to us through our content and other things, right? And in inbound marketing, there will be content strategy and planning. We need to plan our content and reach out to us. And LinkedIn has been a very big potential platform for digital content distribution, right? I'm sure we create a lot of content, and it is important, okay, but it is not everything. People are not going to come to us and consume our content. It needs to be marketed. We have to reach out to people through various channels, to the right people who will consume, and that's very important. And that's where as podcasters, we also focus on the digital platforms like LinkedIn, YouTube, and others. And that's when the content grows. And LinkedIn is definitely one of the potential platforms. Okay, so it's a largest global community of professionals, as about 600 million people across the world, and there are about 22 million potential investors. Okay, so imagine we will be able to reach out to literally anyone across the world. In business networking, they will say that suppose if you want to reach out to say Bill Gates or any other, Elon Musk or someone, we are just 6 people, 6 connections across Bill Gates or Elon Musk. If you use the right contacts, you'll be able to reach out to them. So LinkedIn is definitely one of that potential platform. And next, let's see what is social selling. Okay, all these things, it comes under a concept of social selling, and we don't go out and sell directly. We socialize and then connect with the right people. So it's like a professional dating to understand each other and then take it from there. It definitely helps both the parties if we are able to know each other, right? It helps in having the productive relationships, outcomes, and so on. And definitely LinkedIn is a platform to use that. And I would highly recommend all of us start leveraging this platform. And what are the goals here? One is brand awareness. How many of us agree that all of us are a brand, right? And we represent some value, and all of us are a brand by ourselves. Okay, and we want to establish authority on our topic or our chosen subject, right? And building relationship, maintaining relationship, all these things are there, right? So let me introduce one aspect today, right? How many of us want to start blogging? Okay, all of us, right? Do we know we already have a blog set up for us and it is ready to start writing from, maybe today onwards in a couple of hours? Okay, so if possible, let's go ahead and open the browser and go to LinkedIn. Okay, so this is the place. This is my profile. Go to start a post. Okay, so you can start writing posts on a daily basis. Okay, so using this, you will be able to communicate with your followers. It may be people whom you are connected to. Okay, and this is something inbuilt, and this feature comes for free. Okay, and if at all we have been procrastinating for a long time, I want to set up a website, I want to get a domain, I mean, those are all just lame excuses from now on. Okay, so let's go to LinkedIn and start creating content. Okay, so a post you can create up to 1,300 letters. Okay, and I'm sure that's a lot, right? So let me share some of our known members and what they are writing, right? So this is Ashish blog. Okay, so he writes about, okay, he has written 2 weeks back, right? In school, I was always a middle bencher, now of front benchers, and so on, right? And he uses keywords. Okay, so it helps him to connect with people, right? Isn't this a blog? And this is readily available and we can start using it. So how many of us will commit to start writing a blog on our chosen subject? Okay, so Alifia, and it's being recorded. Okay, so I can always come back and okay, sure. Okay, so it is not, this is only one aspect of it, and let's get into the habit of writing posts almost on a weekly, twice at least. Okay, and blog about today's meeting and what your passions, your work related things, and so on, and how it helps, right? So there will be followers who will read those blogs, right? And it helps to connect with them and build a bonding over a period of time. And when we get a point where they want to reach out to us, they can connect to us, right? Second one is articles. Okay, suppose if you want to tell a story, right, with a medium like videos and also pictures and other things. This is where we can write the articles. Okay, so these are all called the long form articles. And here,
JP,
yeah.
are you sharing something? Because we are stuck on your PowerPoint.
Oh, okay. All right.
We are stuck on your LinkedIn social selling skills PowerPoint.
Okay. Okay. Just a moment.
In share screen.
Okay. Sure. All right. So let me just briefly show you guys. Okay. So this is from the article perspective, right? You can write a headline and this is your blogging. So before getting into a website or other things, I would say start using this to write articles and other things. I'm sure some of us are podcasters or Toastmasters for a long time. All our speeches you can start writing as articles. Okay, it will be documented already, will be there. So you need not create the content. You can take up all your speeches and then start posting it here. And if it is relevant to your brand and persona, right? So I would say just to go ahead and start using this platform. And if you have any questions, start posting it on the group. And I would definitely happy to help with this. Probably in the next meeting also, we will look at doing this hands-on, okay, by writing an article. All right. So any questions or thoughts here so far? And maybe each of us can take a 10 seconds to say what are all the things we'll start writing about, right, in the posts. I'm sure all of us have a lot to share with the world, right? All of us are messengers.
I, in general, post a lot about my cats and the mischief they get into. Those who are friends with me on social media, invariably it will be some post about my cats and what they have been up to, or my cats giving me a piece of their mind.
Okay.
So it's a bit sarcastic. It is a bit funny, and I enjoy doing it. Basically, I started doing it because they were so naughty. I didn't know that the cats were going to be so naughty when I got them, so I started doing it. And over the time, I realized I actually enjoy writing like that.
Okay.
Would you consider that as a blog? If I continue something along the same veins, or it has to be specifically something very intellectually oriented kind of thing?
Okay. So each of the mediums has their, I mean, first I want to appreciate you to starting the content creation process, right? That's very, very important, going out and putting out the content. And I presume that you are you doing it on LinkedIn or Facebook?
Facebook.
Okay,
as
Facebook.
Of now, I've been
Yes.
doing it only on Facebook.
Okay, fantastic. Okay. I mean, this is the right approach to take, right? Something which is light and funny helps to get started well, and it also gives us the comfort because you will start getting likes and people will start connecting to it. And nobody wants a serious content. All of us have to be. It is not what we call as you have to educate, inspire, and also entertain. And in social media, I'm sure almost all of us come only for the entertainment portion of it. And it's important that you rightly, balance out with our education posts. Okay, in case if you're looking at writing that. Okay, and start with Facebook, continue to write, and then whenever you will definitely start getting content which needs to go into LinkedIn, right? If it is your profession related or something, then graduate to LinkedIn. Okay. Even in LinkedIn, once in a while, it is okay to post cat pictures and others. Maybe keep it like, if you're writing some 5 posts, okay, you can have one cat post, right? Maybe on a Friday or since it's, depending on the, country you are in, right? It will definitely connect with you as a person. But, having said that, I would say consistently continue this journey.
But
yeah.
See, because for me, it's not that I'm on LinkedIn. I do like or comment on posts, but I very rarely post anything on LinkedIn. My job is like very stressful. So end of the day, I like to watch only masala movies. I like to read only some thrillers or where somebody is ready to be stabbed and killed and stuff like that. I don't go for much intellectually challenging because I look at a lot of very, very serious stuff, very confidential stuff. So I just want to chill and unwind. That is the main reason for me to never go on LinkedIn and post anything much, to be honest. Okay. So I would like to start blogging, of course. It is all part of the journey. I want to keep it something light at the same time. I don't want to be researching heavy stuff. I do enough of it at work. I don't want to do any heavy stuff over here. How do I bring out the balance?
Okay. So what are your goals to be in LinkedIn? Okay, I see that one is that have fun, definitely, right? Unwind, fair point. And apart from this, what are the professional goals, or you want to connect with people, professional community?
See, many years ago when I actually started with it, I was looking for a change of job. And then at some point, actually, I realized I do enjoy what I'm doing. So I just sort of drifted off from the whole thing. But anyway, the account is there. So, and I do know that my colleagues are posting something, or there is something from the bank which I want to keep tabs on. So I go and like it or comment on it. But apart from that, actually, I think I can be a role model for what you should not be doing.
No, see, if maybe here is how I would look at it, right? One of the important things in LinkedIn is that to be yourself, right? We all know that if it is too scripted or something, it becomes very contrived, right? We are able to connect to people only if you are yourself, right? Probably what I would recommend is go ahead and start what you like or enjoy, right? Start writing it over there, and that is important. Okay, and over a period of time you will figure out what kind of things to do. And I know one sales guy who became a startup comedian. Okay, and he is more successful as a startup comedian now, and a lot of 70% of his bandwidth goes there. Okay, but is trying both the things, and we never know what will work. And I would say that just go ahead and start writing, and that is very important to get started. Okay, and leave out all these goals and other things. Go ahead and start writing. Okay, and as you progress, you will figure out, and that's very important.
Okay. I will first go and start regularly liking or commenting on the posts that I like or I'm following.
Yes.
And then let me see if I'm actually able to progress to posting something which is more challenging than saying what my cat wanted to do that day.
See, correct. I think it's from day one we won't be able to see it, right? I mean, this is usually we use this, right? We don't. If you want to go from one area to the other area, we don't see a clear path. What we see is only the next signal, right? And we move on to the next signal, and when it becomes green, we move to the next. So start.
I actually like that concept. That's how I always look at it.
Yes, yes.
Whenever I get stuck, I always go for okay, what's next? So yes. I actually like that idea.
And what I like, probably you may go out and leave out all these goals and other things. Start writing something on a daily basis. That is very important, and you can figure out later.
Sure. Okay. Lakshmi, we already have your first topic for the first blog that you will write. What not to do on LinkedIn. That's going to be your first topic, and that will be the first authentic topic that you can actually start with.
Yes.
So start with the blog and do a podcast along with it, and have a blog along with an audio, and present that in the next content.
I will be. You will be hearing something on this from me very soon.
Yeah. let's
So I
listen
have
to
you all in my LinkedIn contacts. If not, you're going to be letting a lot of requests.
People have to like it. Yes.
Huge name like
Yes.
Guru Murthy Karpaga Lakshmi. Don't get scared.
Yes.
I'm huge, and so is my name.
Done.
Yeah. See, whenever you write something, also post it in our members group, right? We are all here to, blog, write content, and other things, right? Definitely, we can go and
share it.
yeah, yes, and we will share
And
feedback.
we have a definition for soon also here in podcasters, right? 2 weeks, no?
Yeah.
She just mentioned soon we will be able to listen to her podcast.
Podcast, yes, yeah.
2 weeks in here.
Soon this and maybe another 2 years.
Okay.
No, 2 weeks.
Okay. Hey, guys, I think we
I
are.
think I made a mistake.
We're only extroverts.
But now I see, once I have made up, Deepa knows me well. Once I make up my mind, I will work on it for sure. So you will definitely be.
You already made up, right?
You a lot. So please bear with me while I go through the learning curve.
Yeah, sure. Lakshmi, what I have seen is that maybe just to go out and start putting in comment, right? Anyway, I mean, people will keep telling something or the other, and what matters is that you just have to go out and start creating. And I see it this way. It makes me happy, right? When I write an article or something, since you said you work on a stressful job, a lot of confidentiality is involved. Look at it as a unwinding activity, and I have heard it from a lot of people. Writing helps them to unwind, feel relaxed, and probably you may want to start doing that and see how it helps. Write for yourself, right? That could be the best motivation. Yeah.
I will. You will be hearing something from me soon.
Definitely
Whether it's
look forward to that.
a blog, I do not know, but I'm definitely going to be doing something.
Yes.
I think the XCOM is so committed to keep each other accountable.
Accountable, yes. Okay. Hey,
Now you better get it out. You're done.
Hey guys, I think we still have this formal meeting going on. Okay. So I think probably I will just end with these things, right? Probably action items for all of us, and we have also committed in front of the screen and recording. So let's go ahead and start creating posts and also articles, okay, and share it in our groups. If you stuck somewhere, just to post it in the group, okay, so that in the members group, so that we can all share and we can take it from there. Probably I will also do a workshop where we can create a hands-on article, right? We'll all have.
Language is okay in LinkedIn.
See, LinkedIn you can write in any language, but if you are looking at, okay, I am going to use it for my professional purposes, right? My customers or my employers are going to see it, then stick to that how they will look at it as a professional behavior, right? And again, it's very subjective. And if it is someone, okay, I mean, I want to be myself and I will define my own things, please go ahead as well. Okay. There is no hard and fast rule. It depends on how you want the world to look at yourself, the brand to be yourself. And that's important.
It depends on your audience, basically. So if you're catering to an audience which is of your language, of another language or anything, then that's what it is. And so behind every piece of content, there should be a goal, like what JP always tends to say, that what's your intention behind it? So what's your main goal? How do you want to be perceived? What's your personal brand that you're trying to create? And use that as a context about who's going to be your listener, who's going to be your audience, and then make a content which is relevant to that audience. So it need not be the whole globe that we're catering to. It can be only 10% of the whole population, but that's enough. Because then you're inviting only them to come. There's always a customer.
So keep that as a guideline, okay. But what is all the more important is that creating content and writing something about it, okay. That's very important, and getting started is all the more important, okay. I mean, when I say that, some of these things, goals, audience and other things, right? It puts in a lot of pressure on us, right? So we just keep on procrastinating. So if you start, go ahead and expressing what we are and what comes to your mind, that helps to get started. And definitely over a period of time, we'll be able to fine tune that. That's how I would look at it.
So next meeting, JP is the content presenter. We have not forgotten. We have not forgotten.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe send me some tips on what are the contents that will go well for a LinkedIn type of audience.
Okay, so I'll do one thing. Maybe I can send you guys a survey. Okay, please fill that survey. Okay, I'm sure it is going to be like a very long survey, about 50-60 questions, and it will ask what are your interests, what are your offerings. Try to give in as much inputs as you can. I will try to generate content topics. Okay, what you can talk about. It will have about 200 to 300 topics which you can pick and choose and start doing that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That would definitely help, because I just float along with in life. So for somebody like me, that would be a great help.
Yeah. Sure.
So great. With that note, we officially and technically end our meeting. It's been an inspiring meeting with content that's taken us roasting Toastmasters and then coming to powerful women and their entire life journey, finally coming to authentic sharing of the life of anyone or everyone Toastmaster in their entire journey in our community and in our world. And with the beautiful digital hack, with a little bit of learning and a little bit of fact finding, we want to officially call this meeting to an end and invite everyone who's listening on YouTube or anywhere else to join our meetings every first and third Mondays. And we look forward to have you all.
Thank you.